I've been looking forward to this interview all morning, being described as a good Samaritan by the majority of South Africans, if not all South Africans. I haven't had a chance to speak to all South Africans, from helping communities ravaged by drought to those left homeless by flooding, and not just here in South Africa. It's become a globally recognized brand that's making a difference. 2021 has been a very challenging year for Gift of the Givers, headed by Dr. Imtiaz Sooliman. But as always, Dr. Sooliman, you've been there to help even when the odds were against you. I think you've received so many accolades. I would take up all the time we have just to mention them. Congratulations. What a year it has been. But I do have to ask the question, do you ever stop?
Good morning, Gareth. Thank you very much for that introduction and the kind words. It's not possible to stop, because you see difficulty all the time. And when you're given a certain gift, it's a spiritual gift, and you can make a difference to a person's life. And at that time, when you're about to stop, and you think, so I could have made a difference at that point. So unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know what it is, we can't ever stop. It's supposed to be holidays, our teams are still working. And it's been like that for the last 3 to 4 years. We're supposed to shut down. So in principle, the buildings are closed, the cars are closed, and offices are closed, but the people are still working, right as they're working right now. So no, it's very difficult to stop because we see the suffering, we see the despair, and it's hard when you can make a difference that you won't stand back, because the thought always crosses your mind that you could have been on the other side. Your child could have been hungry or thirsty or caught up in a shack fire or caught up in some other kind of difficulty. And you would expect somebody then to come to you and say, I can't say I'm tired, I can't help you. So that drives us all the time to be as far as humanly possible. Of course, we can't be everywhere all the time, but as far as humanly possible, whatever we can do, we try to do.
Doctor, I don't mean to put you on the spot with numbers or anything, but there's an incredible team, the backbone of Gift of the Givers. You seem to be everywhere. Every time we have footage of Gift of the Givers, you're in South Africa, around the provinces, around the world, but you can't be everywhere. Just give viewers a sense of the kind of team that backs you in this. There must be hundreds of people and logistics support staff.
In South Africa, it's all full-time staff. We don't have any volunteers, right? We need to understand it clearly. When I say we don't have volunteers, those are just a few categories. The machine is driven by 90 people nationwide in South Africa. The volunteers are those that come on a particular site. For example, if you're distributing food in Alex or Soweto or Kailicha, and people from around the area would come and say, look, we want to help you carry a food parcel or dish out the food with you. Those are the volunteers. They don't come from the head office. The other volunteers are the medical and search and rescue teams, because we don't need them every day. They would then close their practice, leave the public hospital or private hospital, and at short notice, they'll be ready to fly anywhere in the world where there's a war, an earthquake, a typhoon, whatever. Those are the volunteers. So the 90 full-time staff in South Africa are then supported by staff in offices around the world, where we have full-time staff in different offices. And those staff is about another 500. A majority of the portion taken up by 320 full-time staff in a hospital in the north of Syria, which we've built. And that hospital is now the largest hospital in North Syria. And then with the staff in other offices around the world, it adds up to about 500 people. Excluding South Africa.
Doctor, time is a little bit against me because we had a briefing earlier from the Transport Minister, so please forgive me if I leave this as my last question to you, about a minute left on this. How is it that you're able to get right what governments simply can't get to?
We don't have red tape. We don't have bureaucracy. We're geared for disasters. Government is not. Government doesn't understand urgency, emergency, and disaster. We're born with that. We live with that, and we do that every day. We can act within seconds. We have infrastructure. We have things in place. We have logistics in place. We are geared for every second to respond to a disaster at short notice. And we treat everything as a disaster. And the teams are geared that way. The infrastructure is geared that way. The logistics are geared that way. And, our systems are seamless. We can move at short notice, actually, without exaggeration, within a minute.
And that is why you are the Daily Maverick Person of the Year, because you're leading this organization. You're the face of the Gift of the Givers. But as you say, there's a massive team behind you. Dr. Sooliman, always a pleasure speaking to you. I do hope you try and take some rest between now and what's going to be a busy year for you next year. If you want it done right, you want it done quickly, and you want it done properly, apparently the way to go is the Gift of the Givers. My thanks to the good doctor, Imtiaz Sooliman. Nandi